Good evening once again, guys. Mitchell from Farmers Corner. I know I haven't posted in a while. And I'm trying to take it easy on the land conference and the land issues in this country. But something that I had a debate about today. This was a debate based on agricultural land, cattle quality. In this debate, we were talking. One gentleman on an agricultural platform that I'm on was speaking and mentioning how bad quality some of the cattle in the northern communal areas are, and how of not good quality, how terrible quality cattle and wasteful cattle they are. I sat there, I listened. I was like, okay, his points are valid and it's true. I would not deny being an indigenous person of that region. But then I asked myself, why is it like this? Why are the cattle in the northern communal areas, which is in the northern part of this country of Namibia, north and northeast, are of such quality? So I sat down and I looked at it. It comes down to one key component. It is the red line. The veterinary corridor is what it's called now, the VCF, veterinary corridor fencing, or the red line, which is what we mostly call it simply, is part of the reason to blame why the cattle and the livestock in the northern communal areas look as bad as they do. Why, you might ask? Let me explain this. In terms of, firstly, these farmers were never allowed or are not allowed to export their cattle products, particularly export some of their cattle genetics outside of their region. The cattle are only allowed to remain within the region. The other issue was people were also not willing to import cattle from outside. I mean, it was difficult to import an animal from outside into the region. Back in the day, there were so many procedures that were required that was required for you to do before you could be able to import a bull or a cow into the region to help improve the genetics of your cattle in that region. Another issue is inbreeding. Inbreeding is a very big problem in the northern communal areas because you would find that almost every house homestead, every person farms. What this leads to is a situation of farmer A selling a bull calf to farmer B selling the offsprings of that bull calf to farmer C, farmer C selling those offsprings of those bull calves that were bought by farmer B from farmer A to farmer D, farmer D reselling those same genetics to farmer A. So it means that the genetic pool of those cattle in that region are not improved. The animals remain of bad quality, and this leads to inbreeding where the animals start developing certain defects. For example, being born small, um, having certain mutations such as having 6 legs, or being smaller in size. There's another reason why the cattle in the northern communal area are the way they look and are the condition they look. Another issue I also picked up was the lack of investment from some of those communal land farmers up there. I tend to agree and understand this argument because in the northern communal areas, particularly up north, and this is why I'm saying northern communal areas, it's up in the north, it's more of a free-ranging type of establishment up there, where cattle move and wander about freely as much as they want and are returned home at night to sleep in their kraals where they overnight. This has led to people being unwilling to invest more than 10,000 or even 30 or 25,000 or 35,000 or 100,000 into a bull, a good quality bull, such as what the farmers in the south of the veterinary corridor fence do, because in the south of the veterinary corridor fence they are willing to invest lots and lots of money into good quality bulls. Reason being is this: when you buy a bull on your own, you yourself as an individual, you get up and you buy a bull on your own, the your neighboring farmer, your brother, your sisters, your family, your family members, do not contribute a dollar to you to buy that bull. But once that bull lands at the village, mounts your cattle, impregnates your cattle, has to also start mounting your cousins and your brother's cattle who didn't even invest a $10 into buying of this bull or transporting this bull to the village. When this bull ends up falling sick and ends up falling sick and medications required to be bought. These individual members are not willing to assist you with medical costs. In other words, they're not willing to take out $1 out of their pocket or help you do a call out for a vet to come and monitor and come and inoculate your cattle, your bull. They won't do that. This is why a lot of these communal farmers up there are more of a negative mentality in buying bulls that are worth $100,000 or $35,000, investing in good quality genetics, because they don't see the use for it. If it's going to end up impregnating everybody's cattle and my animals, everybody's cattle in the area, but when it falls sick, I am the only one alone who has to carry the pain of paying for this medication. Another issue also is the reason, going back again to the bull being used by other people, because you do not live in the area you farm. You don't live in the village. You live maybe in Windhoek because you have a full-time job here in Windhoek, in whatever position, whatever field you study in or you work in. Now, because of that, you are not 24/7 up in the village in your area, in the northern area. What happens now with this bull of yours that you bought? Even though you bought it for it to service and mount your cattle, it does not do that. Sometimes this is due to the fact that your farm workers, it's detrimental due to the fact that your farm workers are the ones who most of the time get bribed by these individuals, either by promising them payment in alcohol or promising them payment in money, to make sure that that bull that you had paid so much money for ends up spending the night and ends up staying with your neighboring cattle, with your neighbor's cattle, impregnating and mounting them, and your animals on the end of the day from are losing from benefiting from this bull's genetics. That was one of the reasons. Another issue is that a lot of the farmers up in the north, most farmers from there, do not look at cattle the same way as they would look at business. Most of them look at cattle as a means to an end, in terms of for their own personal consumption, eating, slaughtering in December, weddings and certain functions, and also for paying bridal prices. So this is why these individuals are really still lacking and have not yet improved. The last point that I want to pick on is information. These individuals are unfortunate not to be able to access modern day information, better information, better methods of farming, and getting this information through various agricultural books. Because sometimes these books are based on how to improve your farming on a commercial farm and not how to improve your farming in a communal area, which really hampers these guys. And the fact that they are unable to receive so much in farming information for them to be able to improve their farming, it also leads to the way it also contributes to the way their cattle look like. That is one of the reasons that really hurts these people. Lastly, the availability of stores such as Agra in their areas to help them improve their cattle's nutrition, and also them understanding the use of what is a leek and what is feeds and what is fodder. Most of these individuals believe that a brick of salt put in the cattle kraal is a leek. They do not understand that there are bags of leeks that can be used all year round in different set of conditions, like such if it's clear, like such on the Agri Forum, there are various bags of leeks on there. These are various different bags of leeks you can give your cattle during different seasons, whether it's dry, whether it's raining, whether it's winter, and whether it is very extremely wet conditions. These are the type of leeks here that are being shown back here that you can give your cattle. Most of these communal area farmers do not know this. As I said, they're not exposed to the better methods and good information available to them due to the fact that they are so far away. So most of the time they are not exposed to this information um, in terms of having farmers days, having information sessions, having agri forum and agri driving all the way to the Zambezi region to host the seminars. They do not have that. So lastly, I'd just love to say that the farming methods up there compared to the farming methods on the southern part of the veterinary corridor is this. If I may even use a sport, football for example, soccer. The southern part of the veterinary corridor is the Premier League. This is the Barclays Premier League, one of the richest, one of the biggest and most expensive Premier Leagues to play in. In the northern communal area, I might not even call it a league. I might not even say that it is Premier League. It is a not even a Division One. It's a non league division football league. That's what it is. In terms of the quality that's available, it's use what's available to you. So it is comparing the Barclays Premier League to the non-leagues. I'm sure that would even give you a better concept and a better understanding of why animals in the communal area look the way they are. But then again, I want to commend the farmers in the communal area who are working particularly very hard, to improve their cattle quality and cattle condition, which is a very good thing to see. A lot of guys, there is an awakening that's happening. A lot of young communal farmers in the northern part of the country have awoken and are now starting to invest pretty penny in their herds and are now starting to invest lots of money in improving their genetics and improving their cattle quality. Because the argument of cattle in the northern part of the country are terrible is going to be an argument of the past. Sooner or later, this will change. That now that people start seeing cattle in the northern part of the country are as good as our cattle in the southern part of the country. So that's all I have to say, guys. Have yourself a pleasant night. Stay blessed, and always remember, keep farming, and always remember, keep farming, but always stay humble in whatever you do, in whatever farming projects you do, and always remain hungry. Goodbye for now.